pigs.
I won't sit on this, pigs. So we're just going to invite you guys into an intimate conversation that we need to have. So we probably won't really be looking at the camera as much as normal, but
Thought we'd record it.
we thought we'd record it. Real life, we try to keep it real here. Yes, buddy. Why are you staring at me so hard?
You have to be part of this conversation too.
Yes, because you definitely have to be part of this conversation because it really involves you. So, how long have we been talking about getting a second dog?
Pretty much since we got Bruce.
We always, I'd say within 6 months,
Yeah.
we fell in love with the breed, even more. So, I was already, as you know, wanted this breed for 9 years plus. So when we really saw what he was, we're like, we need to get a second.
Even before that, when our other dog passed,
We wanted a second.
just having the one, we had wanted a second. We never pulled the trigger. And after he passed, we were like, we definitely want to have more than one dog.
So we always said when he was 4 or 5 years old, we should get a second dog because he's going to be fully mature. We will understand his temperament. So I guess it's time to kind of have that discussion. I have pros and cons written down. And I'm sure you were like me, what's your biggest fear?
Is him hurting his feelings, making him sad.
I don't want to screw up his life. It's
yeah.
he's got such a good life. He has it so easy.
Literally the best life.
And we have it, our routine just so routine. It's very easy to take care of him.
Super easy. It's almost, I wouldn't say mindless, but in a way, it's we've got it down. And it did take a while for us to get it down, but we got it down easy now.
So I have pros and cons here. I know we've been working on a list together. So I just want to go over them because we haven't even talked about it actually in person. All of these, we just been going back and forth.
That's true.
So he's 4 now. He'll be 5 in March. We always said between 4 and 5, we should get a second dog if we're going to do it.
Yeah, because it almost feels honestly, it feels like if we wait any longer, it's too late.
Yeah, it's
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That it would be too late.
Their average lifespan's 9 to 11.
Right, so.
And it's he just hit maturity this past year, I would say.
Yeah.
He's finally
Agree.
So, but it's scary because it's the fact how's he gonna take having another dog here?
Right.
I know how he's around dogs. If he likes a dog with matches his energy, which was absolutely imperative that if we were to get a second Cane Corso, it matches his energy, it matches his temperament. He's falling asleep right now.
Is he? Oh,
Because he was I'd say higher medium energy. Not now, he's more chill now,
As a
but
puppy?
as a puppy, higher medium.
Yeah.
But we've also seen Corsos that are insane energy, and then some that are super low energy. So it's very important to
Let me stop you right there.
match his energy.
Thinking about what you just said as his energy was as a puppy is 180 from what his energy is now. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
So getting a second puppy, even if the energy matches,
It's still going to be different. It's going to be different.
It's not going to match for a while, right?
Absolutely, because puppies are puppies. They have energy. They're curious.
I just say that so we're not if we get a puppy, we're not freaking out at month 3 oh, this dog's too high energy for him. We haven't given it a fair chance yet.
And so a big concern of mine is my health.
Yes.
But because it's since I quit, what's my job?
Is taking care of yourself.
Yes, number one. It's not this. It's not
And even
other business stuff we do. It's literally my health because it takes so much time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's always going to be there. I'm always going to have Lyme disease, but it seems like I'm in a way more controlled state the past couple months at least.
I agree.
But it's stressful to think about what happens when I wake up when I have kind of yesterday when I have a bad day and zero energy, but I still have a puppy that I have to go do things with, and it's just literally hard to even move.
Right.
That's a big concern. That's definitely a con because now he's 4. He's cool. I'll just yesterday we got home from the gym. I just went in bed with him, and he didn't even do anything after the gym.
He knew.
We just went in bed and took a nap for an hour and a half.
Right.
Puppy's gonna be different.
You won't have that luxury.
Won't have that luxury. So that's a big concern, but it's nothing I can really control because I can't not live my life because of my health, and it's always gonna be there.
Right.
Another huge concern: double the cost of everything: food, insurance, vets, daycare. So insurance goes from $1,200 to $2,400. Food goes from $400 to $500 to $800 to $1,000 a month. Because it's not like we're not going to feed the dog raw.
Right. But and I get that, it's expensive. I'll be honest though. I mean, money always stresses you out more than me. But I still think like that part doesn't stress me out about having a second dog.
I'm hoping, I would never get a dog for YouTube whatsoever. If so, I would have got a dog like a year ago.
Oh yeah, you
and
would have
took advantage of the super fast growth.
Right.
It's like never I would ever do that. But hopefully, having a puppy will maybe increase views and then help pay for his care.
Honestly, I was just thinking too, with your health, some days are gonna be tough with your health, right?
On you. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Let me get a cozy situation for him. Okay. So some days are going to be tough with your health, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in some ways, maybe this will lessen stress or potentially make it easier on your health, because I feel like you said, we wouldn't get a puppy for YouTube, but having a puppy is going to make it more naturally video ideas.
Yeah, easier.
Because you didn't
so
start the channel with him as a puppy. We started it later into his life.
So it's like
this
easier
is really
content.
fun.
It's going to be super fun. Like I'm really excited, like thinking about getting another puppy.
Right.
About all the cool things, like all the fun things, like even like views aside, what did I do before YouTube? I was making videos just for me. It's like what I love to do.
Since I started dating.
Before social media, I was making videos. And so it's like, it's just an extra bonus that people actually want to watch us. That's an extra bonus, and then there's extra income from it. It's all bonus.
Right.
So it's like, this is super awesome because now I have Bruce and this other dog that I can go get photos of. I can like get cool videos of them playing together. Like that's super exciting and like fun and motivating to me. So you're right. I will save time and energy.
There's weeks where you're stressing about content ideas, and so this could, in fact,
make it easier.
Make that easier.
Because everyone would probably want to see
less.
like a puppy playing with Bruce.
Yeah.
And then like the puppy growing up around Bruce.
There's so much stuff you can show that we didn't get to share with this guy. So that'll be nice.
So that's.
And like the other thing too with your health, Jay, you have to remember, like obviously, like I work a 9 to 5 and I have to go to work, right? But if there's ever days where you're like really struggling, all you have to do is ask, and like I'll call in sick. Like
that's true. I never thought
your
about
health
that.
when you're having a rough day, like so take that feeling of like being trapped out of your mind, like, oh my God, like what if I'm like really having a day where I can't do both? That's when I step in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. I never thought about that.
That's when I take a half day, or I don't go into work at all, and I come home, like obviously I couldn't do that every day, but you don't have days like that all the time. Thankfully it's rare. So but that's always an option to not like feel so like stressed about that part of things, because I get that, and I feel stressed the fact that I do have to leave now and go to work and you're home. So in a way, for me, it makes my life easier because you're home with the puppy all day. We don't have to worry about is he chewing things? Did we puppy proof? Did we do this? Did we do that?
That's true, because it's so stressful. Like when you work, and having a puppy, I
used to cry some mornings leaving him here because it was like, did I do enough with him? Did I play with him enough? Stimulate him enough? Because I felt such pressure that he was going to be alone for 8 hours, and if I didn't do him the diligence he needed before I left, even though we had people coming over and checking on him, like I felt like that was on me.
Yeah.
So it was like this huge pressure stress every morning. I'm grateful I don't have to worry about that as much. I still have to put in the effort, don't get me wrong.
I know.
But like knowing you're going to be with the dog all day is a huge plus for me. It's also a con for me too, though, because then I feel almost guilty, the fact that like you're at home having to do everything, and like I literally can't help you if I'm at work unless you tell me I need you to come home.
Yeah.
Then I can't do anything.
No, that makes sense.
And so.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess a second puppy would be much easier to manage than when we had him. Plus, it's like between Winston and him was 9 years. So that's 9 years of not having a puppy. That's why we were like.
We're a little more fresh now.
Yeah, we're more fresh instead of like we're like going through puppy courses and stuff and like reading all this stuff about puppies, because even though I've raised like, let me see, there's Brownie, Shadow, and Winston. So Bruce Wayne was our fourth dog, my fourth dog. I've had dogs my entire life. It's like almost a decade's passed. So it's like, What do you do with a puppy?
almost forget.
You forget.
You can't blame people for forgetting
No.
the realities of raising a puppy.
Yeah, and
I don't want to be like that either.
yeah, which we weren't going with him. Remember I told you about puppies suck? Yeah, puppies suck.
Yeah, and I
They're
was like, what are you talking about? You know, and then I'm like, oh crap, you're right.
Kara's like, you're
Yeah,
right,
I do.
puppies
I
suck.
do want him big.
Puppies suck.
Well, it's still fresh in my mind because that's the one thing I'm thinking about getting a puppy Corso. You couldn't wait for them to be big, and I didn't know what that was going to mean or entail.
Yeah, I just want them
and
adult.
now that
I
I
mature.
know what
I want
it's
to
like,
understand that communication between us. It's so much easier.
and just to have him massive like this.
Yeah, and like, look, there's something about like the coziness.
Yeah.
If you guys have never had like a large breed dog, I mean like a giant breed dog. I'm not talking like a 60, 70, 80 pound dog.
Yeah.
That's a big dog. I'm talking about like a giant human-sized dog. He weighs more than me. He weighs more than her. It's something different about
It's
like when
so
he lays
different.
on you like this, it's like, it's very comforting. It's very relaxing.
Yes.
I can really see if your dog's trained like this, if you have like emotional issues,
Yeah.
you know, like depression issues. He helps me when I have depression issues, anxiety issues. I'll just like focus on his breathing, like laying
Yeah.
there, and it's like, you know, it kind of, even for a moment, takes you out of that place.
He's Christmas in a 155-pound package.
Yes, he is.
So now I feel like I'm almost worried I would get a puppy and be like, this sucks, I just want you to be big. But I don't want to go into it with that attitude because I also want to like enjoy the
Yes,
moments.
I know. It's like, I feel like I need to enjoy having a puppy more than I did with him.
It was really cool seeing him grow. Like when I'd go to work and come home and he would literally be bigger.
Yes, he's putting on 5 pounds a week.
Yeah, so that'll be cool with a puppy to kind of like more closely watch some of that stuff looking back.
She's like not exaggerating, guys. We would
yeah.
leave for work in the morning, get home like 10 hours later, and legit see a size difference in his height and length. It was crazy.
It was
I'm
true.
Like, and that's why like I'm always preaching to, when you have a puppy, especially like a giant breed, to be so like militant on their joints and so careful because they grow too fast for their joints to almost be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So they can't take that impact of like jumping off a couch, for example.
Right.
It could do long-term damage. It may not, but a high likely chancehood that it could.
They need a ton of rest too.
They need a ton
I
of
remember
rest.
that was a wake-up call with
And
Bruce.
that's so.
Is that another thing
Well,
on your list?
let's keep going here. Training a new puppy while managing Bruce Wayne and his needs throughout it as well. It's like he still has needs. We still have to do drills with him.
Right. He still needs individual attention.
So how do we train a puppy with him around?
Yeah.
Now I mean like obedience, because
Yeah.
anytime I train like with Norman,
Yes.
like he's like, you talking to me?
It may have to be separate.
Yeah, or just like separate him and like
Yeah.
do drills.
And
Yeah.
like I was saying, the puppy is going to need a lot of naps. Remember, puppies play hard for 30 minutes and then they sleep for 2
Yeah.
hours.
Be more mindful you have of things laying around.
That I have
So
to.
he ruined your glasses.
He ruined my glasses. I had just bought in them, and that's something like I don't have to worry about with him. He doesn't.
So was
put
he not on a leash then? Because we pretty much had Bruce on a leash like his whole puppyhood. He must not have been. I was at work.
No, that was.
You're getting ready.
I was getting ready for work in the morning, and I had them sitting on our little end table, and I didn't have him on a leash, but I would always keep an eye on him. But I was literally
Not close enough, apparently.
not close enough. That's all it takes is like 2 seconds, and I heard a little crunch,
And there,
and there it was.
Yeah. At least he didn't swallow.
So
anything.
yeah, we both have to be more mindful. Obviously, you're going to be home all day, but like, I don't want to like leave things out for the dog because it's
Yeah.
just I don't want to set him
So
up.
basically, you'll have to just keep your stuff picked up more. I'm fairly picked up for the most part. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you are too, but like
But
maybe.
even just things like cords and stuff
he's
that are
also going
out.
to be on a leash the whole time in the house.
Right.
You know. This is like a big stress on me. Double the dogs to clean, double the dog hair in the house, double the food to prep and feed. Like double everything. Now, double doesn't mean double the time. Like food, for example, the food's out.
Yeah.
So yes, it's going to take longer than just prepping his food, but it's not going to take double the time.
It shouldn't. I feel like it's going to take a little bit more at first, but I bet you we can get into a flow where we're just as efficient.
And
with it.
I have somebody, they DM me their meal prep because they have like 3 or 4 dogs.
Okay.
And they're like meal prepping every week like we used to for ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't anymore because I work from home. But we kind of do that, sort of, with his food. So, I mean, we just maybe have to tighten it up a little bit more, and I think that'll be fine. He doesn't shed because he's on a raw diet, but shedding season will suck when there's over 200 pounds of dog in the house.
Yeah.
Probably 300 pounds of dog in the house if we were to get a puppy.
Yeah. My allergies might.
Your allergies might get
flare
worse.
up a bit.
Times like now, it's Christmas Day right now, guys, and we live in upstate New York, and we had snow one day this week, and it was yesterday. Now it's been raining all day.
Back to mud paws. So
it's like mud paws. So it's like he goes outside the bathroom, and sometimes he just steps in the mud. It's like you can't get that out. I have to literally put him in the bathtub, clean his paws out.
Yeah.
So it's like now we're doing that with 2 dogs. So it's like, what do we do? It's like, I would imagine we'd have to leave one outside, clean him, bring the other one in so they're not walking around getting mud. Because I'm not a neat freak, but I don't want to live in a dirty space. I just am not into living in a dirty space. I need my house clean. I need it organized. I don't like a mess everywhere. It stresses me out.
The puppy, will be easier and quicker to clean than him.
Oh, yeah. If you just pick him up. But how long is that?
When he's full grown, that would be a lot different. When you have 2 full growns.
That goes very quick.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a huge problem?
No. That would never be a thought in my mind to be like, well, I'm not getting a second dog. I think we will start to recognize ways that we can make things more efficient. This is going to be a learning process for us. Maybe we do need another hose back here, or maybe we get different things that make it easier and quicker to clean the puppy paws coming in.
I guess I guess we just have to modify our lifestyles from what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, guys, apologies that we're not looking at you talking to you, but this is a conversation we need to have since we are starting to think about getting a puppy. So I kind of just want to include you guys in everything. Not saying we're definitely getting one, but we should probably start having that conversation. This is just basically about my head. Is another dog to worry and stress about in times of bad health, because you know how stressed I get about him. I get so stressed when he's feeling sick. Nothing you can really do about that. I just need to change my mindset around that.
Yeah, there's nothing good you can have in life that isn't worth stressing over. You know what I mean? You wouldn't stop bringing good things into your life because it could cause you some worry. Mm-hmm. You know?
Less room in our tiny house. This living room's not very big.
More Corso to cuddle with.
More Corso.
Might get trapped in the bathroom, but...
I mean, I know our goal is not to be here forever. Our goal is to keep upping our life and get a really big house and with a giant piece of property in the future if we can make it happen. I know we're working towards it.
Yeah.
I guess we can't really change that right now.
Yeah.
We have plenty of dog beds everywhere. Big Barker beds here, big Barker's beds in there, big Barker bed in
We're sat with
in the
beds.
SUV. We have at least our cars are both compatible for 2 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to when I had my little Sunfire and you had your little Chevy.
I know, that's true.
So the big one though, the big one is, will Bruce Wayne hate his new life? And there's no way to tell. There's absolutely no way to tell. We were talking about the front of it. It's
yeah.
We know he likes dogs. He likes certain dogs. He loves certain dogs. Other dogs he'll tolerate. Other dogs he's get away from me.
Right.
He tolerates Norman, but Norman's completely opposite energy of him. And he does good with Norman. He'll put Norman in his place without overdoing it.
Yeah.
But they're just too different of an energy, which is fine. I like torturing him with that energy because it kind of just keeps him, okay, I have to tolerate this. So it kind of keeps him fresh and being able to tolerate a situation.
Yeah.
But until Norman calms down, I wouldn't see him wanting to hang out with Norman all the time. So it's I don't want to screw up Bruce Wayne's life. Even before, you can ask any of my friends, guys, my friends in person, before I started the channel, all I talked about was my dog.
Oh, yeah.
I was obsessed with Bruce Wayne. I love him so much.
It's the people that talk about their kids.
That's us.
We talk about him like he's our child.
Yeah.
We're dog people. It's who we are.
We are. So did you have any other negatives?
But the opposite to that is it could enhance his life.
It could very well could enhance his life. And it could even take a year.
It could enhance his life because maybe this is a different scenario he's never been with where the puppy would live with us. So maybe he will enjoy kind of training the dog and showing him the ropes. And,
yep. And it sucks. Yesterday I felt horrible. My energy's been horrible all week, so I've barely been doing things with him.
Yeah.
He's been going to the gym with us. I've been taking him to get coffee because that's easy on me because I don't have to really move around much.
Yeah.
But he literally sat outside like staring in for like 2 hours yesterday. I'm like, dude, it was freezing out, and I was just so run down. I'm like, I can't play with you.
Right.
I just can't outside.
Right.
And at least with another dog, would it be 2 dogs just staring in the window for me to come outside?
It could be.
Like this?
It could be.
Or would they be playing?
Yeah.
But like at least I'm home most of the time. But yesterday I was, I had massage. We went out on a date, went to a movie, which we haven't been to movies since February 2020. Like the weekend before it hit and everything closed.
Yeah.
Is the last. We went to the movies that weekend.
Do you remember what we saw?
I don't.
I don't either.
I need to figure that out. I need to figure out what came out. Guys, what movies came out in February 2020, and most likely, probably what horror movie came out, I would guess. We're big horror movie people. Horror movie, it would either be a horror movie or a superhero movie.
Some kind of action,
That's all we pretty much go to.
There hasn't really been any rom-coms or anything like that.
So yeah, that was the last time. Then we went and got sushi after. And I was looking at Bruce, and I was like starting to get stressed about Bruce. I'm like, man, is he miserable? So that dog camera I did a video on, I was like spying in on Bruce Wayne last night with it, which is awesome. So yeah, it'd be nice to know he has another dog here.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's going to be over a year probably because to the dog. Maybe it'll be quicker. It was 16, 17 months for him.
Yeah.
But he was also the only one here.
Right.
With a puppy, the puppy may learn quicker, learn the ropes quicker, learn house manners quicker.
Maybe mature a little bit quicker.
Mature quicker. Plus, I'm home with the puppy more, where before we were working all day.
Yeah.
So we couldn't. So that's going to slow down the process of learning the ropes too.
Yeah.
I feel like as well. So maybe that will be quicker. Yeah. But when the dog won't be crated, that might be awesome for him.
Yeah.
At least I don't think I'd feel as bad being, oh, Bruce is home alone all day. Well, no, he doesn't. He's got this buddy with him.
Right.
Let me see what else I have for positives here.
I still have a fear.
What is it?
So my fear is the fact that
the dog's not gonna like you.
No.
She was asking me on the way to pick up Bruce Wayne. I'm afraid the dog is not gonna like me. I'm like, it's a baby. It's not like anything that loves it.
He went to you first though, and you're like, go to Kara.
Yeah, because you got mad because Winston did the same.
like jumped in your arms. No, my fear is the fact that you will.
He crawled in my lap. He did.
I know.
And I'm like, no, take him.
The mom was up in my lap.
Yeah.
My fear is the fact that you will be home with the puppy all day. So you're obviously going to be the leader anyways. Like, I just feel like that's just going to be the dynamic.
It is, just because of our personalities.
You're just a stronger leader when it comes to animals or anything, I guess. But that's my fear, I guess, is number one, Number one, is it going to be more challenging for me to establish leadership?
Because I'm home with them more?
Because you're home with them all the time? Am I going to be seen
I think
as a
that's
playmate?
when you get home at night, see, the way I see socialization, we'll do it like we did Bruce, but there'll be times, I would say, Bruce will be with us 80% of the time, right? I feel like the puppy has to be socialized without Bruce at least 20 to 30% of the time. So 70, 80% with us.
Yeah.
That way the dog feels confident without Bruce Wayne there, right?
Yeah.
Any situation Bruce Wayne may be nervous in, Bruce Wayne can't be with the puppy getting socialized there. So Bruce Wayne's not afraid of the vet, but he does get nervous there. And he got more nervous after he has a testicle that never descended. He's not neutered. We kept the one ball, but the other one was up in his stomach and they had to remove it.
Yeah.
He's been nervous going to the vet.
Sketched ever since.
I don't think he had a good experience with the surgeon.
Yeah.
With the doctor there.
Yeah.
So he gets nervous there. So I'm not going to bring a puppy with Bruce Wayne to the vet when Bruce Wayne's nervous. The puppy's going to feed off that energy 100%. So we kind of got to be picky how he socializes. He's out in public, he's good everywhere. But I think there'll have to be socialization with just you and the puppy without me and him. Me and the puppy without him and you. That way, so the puppy feels comfortable with you as a leader, with me as a leader, with us as a group.
So it's kind of like, it's not hard, but it will be challenging because like when we got him as a puppy, it was springtime. This is dead of winter where it's pitch black when I get home from work. So it's like my options and time are limited. Like I already feel in a time crunch taking care of him. So I'm like, how am I going to manage my time with needing to give both of them attention?
Yeah, but that's if we get a puppy next week, though. Yeah. What happens if we don't get a puppy till spring?
Right.
We're kind of talking like it is, like it's winter right now, but it may not happen. Could happen like a week. Maybe it's a week from now. Maybe it's a year from now.
That's true.
You know.
The other thing is just communication between you and I. Like I know again, you just being a stronger leader, if you're like doing X, Y, and Z with him during the day that goes flawlessly, I could come home and maybe the puppy doesn't respond to me as well as he does with you.
Uh-huh.
And maybe you'll get frustrated with me. I'm worried you're going to get frustrated with me.
I think I'll have patience with you.
And then we're going to bicker and fight.
We didn't, you kind of got mad at me a little bit when I'd like tell you to stop doing something with Bruce. But I was never like mean or bickery about it. I'm just super straightforward. I might stop baby talk with him.
That I know.
But then you're like, I don't. But you know you do. And then you'd stop and you kind of change how he's acting with you. But you like
Are you trying to pick a fight right now?
No, you followed my lead like really well.
I'm just joking.
Which I think is why it super helped.
I know, but it's
He wants your arm on him or something. Move your arm.
It's the different dynamic of like you being home with the dog all day and how I'm going to fit into that mix.
Another one is, do we have enough couch room for another Corso?
I've told you, I think
we have like the small end. He's got the big end.
We're going to need another couch. Like we need another L to it. We need one more coming out on the side.
It's an L. We need a U.
We need a U couch.
We need a U couch.
What do you think, though, Biggs? I wish he could talk and tell us.
He'd say no. I'm too...
I mean, rightfully so, right? I mean, he's our friggin' world. He's still well.
This was one of your pros. We've always discussed wanting more animals and envisioned us with way more if we ever got more land, bigger house, and I was home more. Yeah. So this is a good test run, and I agree, just getting one dog would be a good test run, Yeah. Obviously we wouldn't be able to fit 3 in here, but when we upgrade our lives, hopefully, we could get that dog land and dog bigger house so we could have all the dogs and have your chickens.
Right.
Bruce Wayne likes watching chickens, by the way.
And I want chickens. We could just get our own farm fresh eggs. We can figure it out. Yeah.
You also put this, you also wrote this, there's never been a better time. We're young enough, energetic enough, healthy enough, financially well off enough to take care of another dog. I agree. This is a big one, and everyone tells me this. Will at Fenner is always saying this, and because he's got 3 dogs. So many people tell me this, that the puppy's way easier to train when you have a dog like him that's trained, because the puppy wants to look at Norman. Norman seems to want to take after Bruce Wayne. Looks at Bruce Wayne, sees Bruce Wayne, he's like, oh my God.
Right. Like he responds differently when Bruce is around.
Yes.
Bruce just has such a good presence. Like it almost feels like, think of it this way. It almost feels like it would be a waste.
Let me get him up here a little bit more.
If we're going to ever have 2 dogs in our life, to not do it with Bruce Wayne as the leader, as the trainer.
I know, it's the thing. It's because I want...
His energy, his presence.
I want he can't be bred because he's got 1 testicle, but I really want a dog to be taking after him. I want a dog with these mannerisms. I want, the legacy of Bruce Wayne to continue.
Yeah.
Because he's my one-in-a-lifetime dog.
Yeah.
So it's I want any other dog to be modeled after this, which obviously is huge on how we train him.
Right.
But I really think that the dog would take on his personality, would take on his mannerisms and stuff.
Right.
So that's super, that's another reason why it's super important to me that we got another dog, another Corso. Mm-hmm. Well, Zoe's always breeding some of his offspring, or not. Zoe's always breeding not some of his offspring, but some of his litter mates.
His bloodline.
So if we could get one of that'd be really cool too, because then it's all in the family. It's the legacy of Bruce Wayne continues.
Right.
Right. Not just personality, but actually bloodline, which is pretty cool.
Right.
If we get a matched personality, it would be amazing to seeing them become friends. We always like watching him interact with things.
Yeah.
So I think
about
really cool.
when the video you did this summer with Lulu, Piper's dog, being a Corso.
And he loved her.
He loved her. I know it was a female, and she, but he just...
I've never seen him act like that.
Took to her so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the breed, the gender, the energy, a combination of everything.
Yeah.
But he
was
just
insane.
lived his best life.
That's my 200,000 video. If you guys were wondering what we're talking about, check it out. It's
definitely watch that one if you haven't. And
because you've never seen Bruce Wayne act like that before.
I think we should watch that today.
Oh, we should.
That might give us a little comfort while we're making decisions on this.
Another pro, like we said, Bruce Wayne always have another dog to play with.
More cuddles for us, hopefully.
That was next on your list. That's what you wrote next on the list.
I did?
You wrote...
More Corso
This is like a list where, like a shared list we're going back and forth with. So it's funny she wrote that because the next thing literally says, I could see us all cuddling together. Bruce and the puppy, maybe even keeping each other warm at night. You've kind of already touched on this. Having another dog to play with could save us some time on some days. Still need to drill and exercise, but that would definitely be a time saver.
Yep.
And this was mine. So, you know, like I always like stress about losing Bruce Wayne. You know, he's drooling on his own foot.
That's a big one.
So selfishly, it would make it easier if anything ever happened to Bruce. This is a big one. But I do need something to love, and I feel like... Wait, did you write that?
I wrote that.
Oh, you wrote that. Because, see, so she wrote, selfishly could make it easier if anything happened to Bruce Wayne, because that was always my thing, so I thought I wrote this one.
You wrote that part. I wrote the second
Okay,
part.
then she added on to it. This is a big one. Not selfish. She wrote not selfish, but with no kids, I do need something to love and feel like a mother to. That's something I do know about me. And it's like the same for me. It's like I need to like love on like an animal or something like that. And like he's like my best bro. So it's like if he's gone, it's going to happen. Everything dies. You're going to die. I'm going to die. Hopefully I go first.
Don't say that.
But like obviously I'd be able to handle losing a dog. It's horrible. It's going to be depressing, all the things.
Yeah.
But it's life. Life is tragic. Life is beautiful. Life is tragic. Life is all the things. But I feel like having like another dog, especially if you took after Bruce Wayne, it would at least soften that blow.
Sure.
To be able to more easily move on with life. See, now I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about him going.
Because one of the biggest things with losing our English bulldog was the fact that, like, yes, we lost him and loved him, but remember how eerie it was in the house?
Oh my God.
It was quiet.
I'd get home from work and I'd expect
no sounds.
I'd expect to hear I'd walk into the house that was just like dead silent.
And even though he's a super quiet dog comparative to Winston,
you can hear his breathing.
There's things that we hear.
And you feel the presence of something in the house.
You do.
Almost.
So to not have that, it's hard. It'll be hard enough. But to all of a sudden, like, there isn't a 150-pound dog in the house making noises, moving around.
Good boy.
By having a second dog, it wouldn't be as
like
it wouldn't
impactful
feel as
in
empty.
Impactful in that sense.
Yeah, and then I feel like maybe our hearts wouldn't feel hopefully as empty.
I would hope I would be able to move on and accept it quicker. And I'm not trying to sound cold, because I would always like be loving him and be so sad. But I think it'd make that process easier.
When we got him, it helped
the mourning
us heal.
process would be easier, I feel like.
Yeah. Just like when we got him. It was 3 months after Winston passed.
And it felt like a year.
It felt like a freaking longest year ever. It was horrible.
I'm like, how's it only been 3 months?
And I was kind of anti getting another dog because I felt guilty. But then
January 11th he passed, I believe. And we got him April 22nd. We picked him up.
Yep. So
he's born March 1st.
And that healed my heart.
Yeah.
It healed my heart.
So that's huge for me because
that's a big one.
That's like a massive one for me.
It's a big part of it.
Where you touched on this, content could be easier to get at times, harder at other times. For example, just filming interactions could be great, easy vid, saving time. But also, it's going to be much harder to manage in public because it's already hard for me to film when it's just me and him in public.
Yes.
It's very hard because like my main concern is I have to pay attention to Bruce.
Yeah.
Pay attention to people around Bruce. You know, always the main concern. Filming second. That's why sometimes the footage sucks. So if you have a puppy and stuff, that's even harder to manage.
You got a Bruce, a puppy, someone talking to you, and the camera.
Yeah, it's much, much, much harder. So that's a pro and con.
Yeah. Is there something that could make that easier when you're going into public? Maybe not using the Sony camera? Or is that a non-negotiable for you?
That's a non-negotiable for me.
Okay. Having it on a tripod?
Yeah, maybe. That'd probably be a little easier with like a lav mic.
Because maybe if you know you may get content, instead of like holding the camera in your hand, which you do a lot, maybe you have it on a tripod
what's good about the lav
and then you set
mics.
it down.
Like I don't have to have the camera close to me.
Right.
And then people can still like hear the interaction that's going on.
Yeah.
The house will be even more secure with 2 monsters in here.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you know how loud it's gonna be?
Oh man, with the mail. Oh, true.
You'd really be cleaning the windows. I feel like I clean those windows like 4 times a week from his spit.
Wow.
It'd just be fun to go on walks and each have a dog to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I agree.
cool. And I think it'd be fun just to go on one of us on a walk with 2 dogs. Never done that before.
I know. Me too. I remember when we were dating, Jay, that summer when you went to SUNY Canton, and I would go with you.
And that person walking all the dogs?
Like literally 4 to 5 dogs in each hand. And I was like, wow, that's the coolest squad ever. Like I think she was dog sitting, but I remember just
dog
thinking,
walker.
That's cool, you know?
I wrote this. We've never been complacent in life with work, our physiques, our goals, our mindsets, our health. We always want to do better for ourselves. Part of the worry has to do with complacency, with having Bruce so well trained and easy to handle. We have it easy. We have it down to a routine. We have everything going so smooth. Bringing in a new puppy breaks that complacency, which in turn makes us scared to think about. I never want to be complacent. When I'm 80, I want to still be striving for greatness, so why be complacent with our dog life? Dogs adapt just like humans do. Bruce Wayne will eventually adapt. It may take him some time, but I feel he eventually will. He'll accept something in here that he sees us love, I would hope. Mm-hmm. I feel this would just be another level to greatness. Bruce Wayne has made us better humans, I truly feel. He's taught us so much while training him. We got so much more patient and understanding. So as hard and as much effort it will be, I feel it would be rewarded tenfold. I'm talking about worry about flare-ups, which I've already discussed. So yeah,
I agree.
That's like all the pros and cons I have. I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think that's.
So I mean, it definitely seems like,
you know, there might be days where it's.
How long is this video?
Compromise, a little less sleep. Workouts cut short.
No, why would workouts have to be cut short? I don't see the recording time. Why?
I don't know. I'm just saying there could be, because not everything. In my mind, not everything's just gonna go easy breezy. You know, right now we bring the dog to the gym, we get it done in the time that I have. Like we're gonna add an extra layer to that. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, you can get up if you want, bro. He's getting hot with the studio lights on him.
Yeah, I bet. We covered everything though.
We covered everything.
You don't know till you try.
I know.
Right?
That's the thing, though. It's like there's no backing out.
Are we just gonna like wait our whole lives and never do it?
I just don't want Bruce Wayne to be hiding like in the bedroom like for his entire life because he's like annoyed with the puppy. So he's like, I'm just gonna go lay in bed to get away from this thing.
And he may for a bet. I think we have to know that could be a reality.
Yeah.
Or the puppy might hide from him, vice versa.
I doubt it. I doubt that one. You know puppies.
All right.
All right, well, we just wanted to film that for you guys. A real life conversation that we need to have, that we need to start figuring this stuff out.
Maybe if they've had any like back and forth like regarding 2 dogs, they could let us know what their pros and cons were.
Yeah, it's a big decision. It's like now that, especially, we've always said, yes, we're going to get one, but now he's at that age when like we really need to figure it out. It's like, whoa, this is way more stressful than just throwing out the words like you were going to get one.
It's like, do you rock the boat or not? Do you rock the boat to what feels like
I know, do you fix
stability?
I know, stability and like everything's just so smooth right now and so easy. All right, guys, well, you amazing 215,000 beautiful people for watching this. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Well, I have to have you. This is like important.
I know.
It's an important conversation we need to have. So I guess it's kind of just figuring out if we're going to pull the trigger or not.
Right.
So
and waiting for the perfect pup.
Find the perfect Bruce Wayne. All right.
You all right over there?
I'm just thinking.
You look a little stressed.
I'm just thinking.
Ending this one on a stress note.
No. I'm getting warm though. It's 70 in here.
Wow.
All right, guys. It's Christmas Day.
Christmas cozy.
Time is it? 3:40. No, it's not. 3:20 on Christmas. So, hope you enjoyed your Christmas too, Bruce Wayne. You enjoy your Christmas? You got yourself a little dog seat in the back.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. All right, guys. Peace.